Here are the 9 contestants preparing for tonight's show. These people have all appeared before on The Weakest Link. In each case, they believe their fellow teammates voted them off unfairly, robbing them of the chance to win.
Not happy about that.
I was sucked in. When it comes to money, people will do anything.
I'm really peed off.
Well, I'm very disappointed about getting voted off.
I think they voted like typical boys, not men.
I certainly didn't make any stupid mistakes like Nick. He was so far up himself.
I feel as if justice wasn't really done.
Maybe it was my suit that put them off. I mean, they're basically all dressed crap anyway.
Am I happy that I'm taking home zip? Nah. I came here to win, and I didn't.
Tonight, these bad losers are back for another attempt at the $100,000. But again, 8 of them will leave with nothing, as they are voted off as the weakest link.
Their opinion. Now they've come back for another attempt. Tonight is no different, as once again they must work together as a team to win up to $100,000. And they all know that only one of them will take away any money, as round by round they must vote off the person they consider to be the weakest link. This should be interesting. Let's meet the team.
I'm Irene, 56, retired primary school teacher from Northgate.
I'm Patrick, 34, a copywriter from South Yarra.
I'm Sue, 43, bookkeeper from Oatley.
I'm Morris, 48, carpet cleaner from the Gold Coast.
I'm Mark, 37, journalism student from Belmont.
I'm Stephen, 42, unemployed from Emerald.
I'm Alexandra, 21, customer service consultant from Footscray.
I'm Brett, 33, carer from Coolangatta.
I'm Marco, 32, technical trainer from Cheltenham.
You may not think you need to hear the rules, but I assure you, you do. In each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your $10,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way to reach that target is with an unbroken chain of 9 correct answers. If you pass or answer the question incorrectly, you break the chain, losing all the money in that chain. But if you say bank, the money is safe. However, the chain once again starts at 0. There is no limit on time. You can use as much as you like. But remember your performances last time you were here and what happened to you then. In round 1, you have 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We'll start with whoever's name is first alphabetically, and that is you, Alexandra. The first question is worth $200. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Alexandra, what is the principal ingredient of an omelette?
Eggs.
Correct. Brett, which pastime beginning with F is pursued by an angler?
Fishing.
Correct. Marco, whereabouts on the body is a toupee usually worn?
The head.
Correct. Irene, Nikki Webster made her spectacular international debut at which year 2000 event?
The Olympics.
Correct. Patrick, which decoratively clipped dog beginning with P is often associated with France?
Poodle.
Correct. Sue,
Bank.
who first learned in 1952 in Kenya that she had become a queen?
Queen Elizabeth.
Correct. Morris, which rulers of an ancient Egypt wore a double crown?
Pharaohs.
Correct. Mark, in Australia, fruit bats are commonly known as flying what?
Foxes.
Correct. Stephen, which casino game of chance involves a spinning wheel and begins with R?
Roulette.
Correct. Alexandra,
Bank.
what name is given to the blood vessels carrying blood from the heart to the lungs and body?
Arteries.
Correct. Brett, what cut of beef is named after a letter of the alphabet?
Pass.
T-bone. Marco, Peter Beattie is the recently victorious Premier of which Australian state?
Queensland.
Correct. Irene, what surname was shared by 3 members of the pop group The Bee Gees?
Gibbs.
Gibb, no S. Patrick, what letter of the alphabet indicates that a film is suitable for all ages?
G.
Correct. Sue, officers of which of the major British armed forces are trained at Sandhurst?
Army.
Correct. Morris, what number catch is given to a no-win situation?
22.
Correct. Mark, current electricity is one of electricity's 2 forms. What is the other, beginning with S?
Pass.
Static. Stephen, A fairly substantial early evening meal is known as high what?
Tea.
Correct. Alexandra, which three-letter L is both a large lump of tree and a ship's journal?
Log.
Correct. Brett.
Bank.
Because he played a key role in the movement in Australia, Sir Henry who is called the father of federation?
Parks.
Correct. Marco, which S is both a marine mammal and a metal stamp that leaves an impression?
Seal.
Correct. And time is up. Well, team, $5,500. What a magnificent effort. Not. Bearing in mind none of you won last time you played, I'd have thought you'd had tried a little harder this time around. You answered 10 in a row. You've all been here before, and there's no excuse for not knowing 9 correct answers in a row will get you your $10,000. So who's suffering from delusions of grandeur? Who was lousy then and is still lousy now? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
In round 1, Alexandra has put her stamp on the game, emerging as the strongest link. Statistically, Mark is the weakest link. Will the votes reflect this?
Okay, pens down. Time to reveal the weakest link.
Brett.
Irene.
Brett.
Brett.
Patrick.
Marco.
Marco.
Mark.
Mark.
Sue, you were voted out after round 1 last time. You finally get to see a bit more of the game. Why, Brett?
Thought a true blue Aussie would remember what a T-bone was.
Morris, why Brett?
Everyone else was pretty good. Brett, unfortunately, was the first one to get a question wrong.
Irene, something personal about Brett?
Well, I didn't like him when he was on the show the first time. I don't know why, personality just didn't click with me. And this time the personality still hasn't clicked.
So personal, so early. It's a shame playing the game isn't important to you. Brett, last time you survived a lot longer in the game. You weren't happy about leaving then.
Oh, well, Fiona's a florist, though, and they haven't got much brains there. I walked off many football fields being sent off, so walk of shame doesn't mean nothing to me.
Well, you said the walk of shame didn't bother you last time. That's good, because you're the first to take it this time. You are the weakest of these weakest links. Goodbye.
Well, doing the walk of shame this time was the worst one because of being voted first off. I was getting the dirty look to the Scottish bird. She should be here instead of me. Morris, even though he looks like one of those Gaylord surfers there, he might go through, but my advice to the other team posts that's still out there, I think, is that watch out because he's a sly Queenslander, which most Queenslanders are. We're pretty sly. Sue voted for me, and if she didn't bank, she did, then it cost us the $10,000 mark. But what do you expect for a woman, and a blonde-haired one too? They haven't got much brains there.
Graham has the perfect Mother's Day gift.
How about gifts that will really endure, just like our mothers?
Plus, a mouth-watering slice filled with chocolate, caramel and nuts. Just wait till you taste it.
This slice is just marvellous.
Better Homes and Gardens, Tuesdays 7:30, then at 8 o'clock.
Feeling like doing something different on your next holiday? 2
magical mountain retreats to escape from it all. One in New Zealand and one in Tasmania.
A one-off kind of experience?
The Great Outdoors, Tuesday at 8 on 7.
Introducing Synergy 8000, high-octane, premium, unleaded fuel. Thankfully, only available to adults. Only available at Mobil.
Electrolux Steam, the healthy way to clean. The Steam glass cleaner cleans windows and mirrors and sanitizes all surfaces using environmentally safe steam. The steam gun is totally versatile. Its easily attached accessories are perfect for difficult jobs and hard-to-reach places. The multi-steamer too has handy accessories. It mops. It cleans and sanitizes without chemicals. It even cleans the car. Electrolux Steam for a clean, healthy home.
Size isn't everything.
When situations get tricky, it pays to have clever people on your side, especially if they're huge.
Well, Billy, ING has nearly 100,000 bright people finding the best investment, banking and insurance solutions for over 1 million customers in Australia and 50 million globally. That's size and brains, wouldn't you say?
Oh, sure, but don't forget, it's the little things that count.
ING, the new name for Mercantile Mutual.
You think you've got things worked out, then they change. Transport, politics, marriage.
Charlie, where are you? Well, who is this? I'm going to divorce you.
I found a good lawyer on CitySearch using the book and the internet. Then I used CitySearch to help to find me a new companion.
Citysearch.com.au, the new directory for a new age.
Just when you think you've got it sorted, things change.
Just because Land Cruiser Prado Turbo Diesel has been named Overlander 4-Wheel Drive of the Year, don't take it as an invitation to show off.
Synergy 8000 also has fully synthetic detergents to keep your engine cleaner and running longer. Only available at Mobil.
Welcome back to The Weakest Link, the Worst Losers Special. This is round 2, and I'm offering you another chance to win $10,000. Your bank at the moment stands at $5,500. I'm taking 10 seconds off the clock, and there is one less player. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, and that was you, Alexandra. Let's play The Weakest Link. Start the clock. Alexandra, which vegetable has a variety called kidney?
Beans.
Correct. Marco, in the magistrate title JP, what does the P stand for?
Peace.
Correct. Irene, which colour lies between blue and yellow? Patrick.
Bank.
What is the name beginning with C of the plastic case with magnetic tape on 2 spools?
Cassette.
Correct. Sue. And time is up. Only $4,500. It would appear that you learnt nothing from your previous visit. If intelligence is hereditary, then some of you had better take an axe to your family tree. It's time to chop away the deadwood. Who is to blame for this scandalous lack of effort? Time now to vote off whom you think is the weakest link.
The statistics show that Irene is the strongest link. However, this round sees Alexandra reverse her fortunes to become the weakest link. Will the voting reflect this?
Pens down. Time now to reveal the weakest link.
Alexandra.
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 Marco.
Irene.
Marco.
Alexandra.
Marco, is this payback time for the last round? Why Alexandra?
Absolutely. Tit for tat, and she banked off and implying she didn't trust me.
You've been watching the show too often. You're repeating yourself. Sue, your reason for Alexandra?
I thought she made a very silly mistake with the spelling question.
Alexandra, have you been to the United States? So you didn't get to see Tennessee. Well, you obviously like to travel, so enjoy the walk of shame. You are again the weakest link. Goodbye.
I had to stick my tongue out. I had to do something just to show them that I'm above all this. I'm not a loser. They're the losers. Last time, I think they voted like boys. This time, I think they're voting like bookkeepers. Who wants to go to Nashville, Tennessee? Not me. And I'm never going to be a bookkeeper, so there's no need for me to know how to spell it. I think Morris should be the one who's been picked instead of me. He's got bad taste in clothes. I mean, green suit, red shirt, yellow tie. What is he, a traffic light or something? There's some vicious people out there, namely George Costanza out there by himself. On the end, Marco, I don't think he'll last long, and if he went on to win, I'd be asking questions as to what the others are thinking. Maybe they have a fascination with short, fat, pudgy, bald men. I hope Irene goes on to win. She deserves it more than anybody else. She's honest. She plays the game fairly, while the others are all backstabbers.
Tonight, in all-new Alley...
I think I'm ready to share something big with you.
How big could it be?
It's big.
Breathtakingly big.
Will you marry me?
Tonight, 8:30 on 7. Then...
In the practice, a dead man terrorizes from the grave. A lawyer's on trial for his life. But we can't tell you everything. Just that it's going to be huge tonight.
Today, I'll be breathing on people to test new Colgate Fresh Confidence. Now, it's got this formula.
A unique system that fights bacteria, Ron.
This system that'll give me fresh breath for hours longer. Still fresh.
Duck Creek has always been home to the onion.
You may kiss the bride.
And onion breath. But now, thanks to longer-lasting PK, there's a change in the air. The clean, fresh taste lasts even longer, so your breath stays fresh even longer. PK, the longer-lasting fresh breath.
Could anyone else make a vacuum cleaner just like a Dyson? Well, let's have a look. There's the self-adjusting head, the brush control system, and dozens of other advances. Not forgetting Dyson's unique dual cyclone, which keeps constant suction room after room. So if you're looking for something just like a Dyson, it's going to have to be a Dyson.
This Mother's Day, we got Mum something she always wanted. A Janome. Grandma helped us. She talked to the nice salesman and got the best price on the Janome My XL. Just $499. Grandma says it's got one-step buttonhole. She also got a great price on this Janome overlocker. Only $499. I think she must have a way with people. If you need a Mother's Day gift, get into your nearest Janome store today. Oh, and tell them Grandma sent you. Hey, hey.
Fresh.
New Colgate Fresh Confidence fights bacteria, so you get fresh breath for hours longer.
You are watching The Weakest Link. Our contestants tonight have all returned after complaining they didn't deserve the tag of Weakest Link. So far, they've done little to prove the voting was wrong. Into round 3, you take $10,000, and that's a long way short of the $20,000 it could have been. We have 2 less people and a further 10 seconds off the clock. As the strongest link from the last round, Irene, we will start with you. Let's play The Weakest Link. Start the clock is up. You managed $3,200 that round. What is going on, team? You're going backwards. You embarrassed yourselves last time, and you're managing to do it yet again. Consistency is a marvellous thing, but not when you're consistently bad. Who would be better off not holding themselves up to ridicule any longer? Who's regretting returning? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
With every answer correct, Sue is the strongest link this round. Statistically, Marco is the weakest link with no correct answers. Will the team show their displeasure in the voting?
End of voting, team. Time now to reveal whom you've chosen as the weakest link.
Mark.
Marco.
Irene.
Marco.
Marco.
Mark.
Irene.
Irene, how many years were you a teacher?
Quite some.
And did you actually get your diploma?
I've got a graduate.
Well, you didn't know what a prefix was. Pity your students. Patrick, something against Marco?
Well, I just felt that he laboured too long over the conservative answer.
Morris, last time you were voted out in round 2. Are you feeling a bit relieved you're still in the game? Why Marco?
I just don't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed at the moment.
Marco, you were quite aggressive with your comments last time.
I definitely didn't deserve to go then. I swear if Nick won, I think I'd throw a beer bottle at the screen. He was so far up himself. I think if I was a vet, I'd put Ian down because he's just a no-hoper.
Well, it would appear the team have taken your advice and have had you put down. Once again, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
It was awful to do the walk of shame again, especially seeing it was round 3 and I got voted off in round 3 last time. Looks like number 3 is my unlucky number. Mark or Irene will get voted off next. They've both consistently made mistakes and some silly ones. Sue may go on to win. She's cleverer than she looks. Give Morris one. This time I'd actually pick up the TV and throw it out the window.
You've reached round 4 with a bank of $13,200. It would appear I still need to remind you that answering incorrectly, passing or wasting time will not help your total advance. There are 6 of you left, and we're taking another 10 seconds off the clock. You now just have 2 minutes to reach your target of $10,000. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, and that was you, Sue. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sue, what creature is the central character of the children's classic book Black Beauty?
A horse.
Correct. Morris, which F is both an apartment and a word meaning evenly horizontal?
Flat.
Correct. Mark, in reasoning, to make excessively fine distinctions is to split what?
Hairs.
Correct. Stephen, to which family of musical instruments does the cornet belong?
Wind.
Brass. Irene, in Australia, the corner is the place where the borders of Queensland, South Australia, and what other state meet?
Northern Territory.
New South Wales. Patrick, Black American militant Angela Davis popularized which 4-letter hairstyle in the early 1970s?
Afro.
Correct. Sue, which religious founder had a daughter called Fatima?
Muhammad.
Correct. Morris, what city beginning with B was a major seat of power in ancient Mesopotamia?
Byzantia.
Babylon. Mark, in human terms, to lactate is literally to produce what?
Milk.
Correct. Stephen, which country is meant by .au in an internet address?
Australia.
Correct. Irene, the value of one country's currency in terms of another's is the what rate beginning with E?
Economic rate.
Exchange. Patrick, What is the general name beginning with L for a person who grants possession to a tenant in exchange for rent?
Landlord.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
In June 1999, who resigned as leader of the National Party?
Kim Fisher.
Correct. Morris. Harold Pinter wrote a notable screenplay for the movie The French Lieutenant's what?
Wife.
Woman. Mark. Which S is a type of religious song developed by plantation slaves in America? Time is up, and the answer to that question is spiritual. Well, team, you're starting to remind me a little of cheap red wine. You've been exposed, and now you're all deteriorating rapidly. $200. I know none of you think you're to blame for that last round. You made that quite clear by your whinging last time you were voted off the show. However, someone must be held responsible for that pathetic performance. It certainly is time to vote off the weakest link.
Once again, Sue has assumed the crown of strongest link. Statistically, the weakest link is Irene, answering all her questions incorrectly. Will the team let her get away with this?
Okay, pens down. Time to reveal whom you voted as the weakest link.
Mark.
Mark.
Irene.
Stephen.
Stephen.
Irene.
Team, we have a three-way tie between Mark, Irene, and Stephen. Patrick, why Mark?
Just simply too many wrong questions. It's cost us a lot of money.
Stephen, you only had one correct answer. Why Irene?
I felt she got too many wrong previous rounds, took too much time, and being an ex-teacher, maybe she might be a threat in later rounds.
Mark, please explain.
Well, he got all of his questions wrong, so he is the weakest link. So he's the Stephen link.
Sue, as the strongest link, you have the casting vote. Will you stay with Irene, or will you change your vote?
Stay with Irene.
Why?
Over the rounds, Irene has made errors. She's an ex-school teacher, should know better on easy questions.
Irene, last time you blamed the men for your demise.
Oh, men will always have a go at a woman if she gets something wrong about either cricket or the way they drink. It doesn't matter. She's wrong, she's wrong. She's a woman. But men, oh, they're always right anyway, so God help us.
You have no one to blame but yourself. You have justly earned for the second time the title of the weakest link. Goodbye.
I felt absolutely terrible coming down the walk of shame. That was a really horrible feeling. I thought I'd cop the dagger in the back from the men because of remarks I made the last time, and it didn't come from them. I got it from bloody women. Sue, to vote me out, we were two women there with all those men. I would have expected her to stand by me. Oh, there's no words can tell you how angry I am at her. I hope Patrick will go on to win, but I think he'd better watch his back because she's standing very close to him. I think Sue will regret voting me off at this point because now there are men and there's only one of her, and they'll get her. They'll get her.
High-flying Aussie mums.
Somebody had to bring home the bacon.
Chasing their dreams.
Have faith in yourself.
Building business empires.
Work from the heart and go for it. Don't have a disbelief that you can't do it.
Tomorrow, 6:30 on Today Tonight.
Sausagen. We put more into it, so you can get more out of it. Milk more out of every day with Sustagen.
With a more sophisticated V6 engine, Avalon is the smoother, quieter alternative to Falcon and Commodore.
La 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 la. La la la.
Schwarzkopf Vital Colours. Rich, intensive, permanent colours with strengthening almond protein and apricot oil. Vital Colours completely covers grey. Intensive Vital Colours from Schwarzkopf.
In 1987, even with the crash, the Australian share market lost only 8% that year. The next year, it grew 17%. Those that sold out missed that growth.
You don't sell your house every time real estate prices fall, because in the long term, you know it's worth more. Think about managed investments in shares the same way.
Colonial First State, Money Management's Fund Manager of the Year, 3 times in the last 5 years.
I usually don't bother with much makeup, as I prefer a natural look. And I think this really helps. It's my new daily moisturiser, Neutrogena Pore Refining Cream,
The breakthrough formula combines AHA and retinol.
to visibly reduce the appearance of my pores. And smaller pores mean smoother, finer, more beautiful skin.
Much smoother. What are you using?
New Neutrogena Pore Refining Cream. Dermatologists do more than test Neutrogena. They recommend it.
And so do I.
Welcome back to the Weakest Link, Worst Loser Special. Round 5, and your bank currently stands at $13,400. Hardly cause to go out and paint the town red, which on reflection might not be a bad thing. I'm beginning to think some of you would be challenged if you had to paint by numbers. 10 seconds off the clock, and now only 5 players. Sue was the strongest link from the last round. We will start with you. Let's play the Weakest Link. Start the clock. Sue, in the fairy tale, who said he'd huff and puff and blow the house down?
Big Bad Wolf.
Correct. Morris. In Australian law enforcement, AFP literally stands for Australian Federal what?
Police.
Correct. Mark. Kathy Bates won an Oscar for her role in Misery, a film based on the novel by Stephen who?
King.
Correct. Stephen. Which S means the famous manuscripts discovered near the Dead Sea?
Dead Sea Scrolls.
Correct. Patrick.
Bank.
With about 70 Australian species, the honey-eaters are a family of what creatures?
Bees.
Birds. Sue. In cooking, béarnaise and béchamel are types of what?
Sauce.
Correct. Morris. Who is currently the treasurer in the Australian federal government?
Peter Costello.
Correct. Mark. Gwen Meredith wrote 5,795 episodes of the radio serial Blue What?
Pass.
Hills. Stephen. Which A is a written statement made under oath?
Pass.
Affidavit. Patrick. In the late 70s, which US tennis player popularized the headband?
John McEnroe.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
Which US sport, beginning with R, involves bronco riding and calf roping events?
Rodeo.
Correct. Morris. What nationality is the former soccer star Paul Gascoigne nicknamed Gazza?
English.
Correct. Mark.
Bank.
When referring to sensitive and appropriate behavior, what do the initials PC stand for?
Politically correct.
Correct. Stephen.
Bank.
A soft spike often sits on the top of which soft circular cap of 5 letters and beginning with B?
Beret.
Correct. And time is up. I have a feeling I've been down the same road with all of you before. $2,900. What a cheap case of déjà vu. And the reason for that is standing amongst you. For one of you, it's too late to pull up your socks because you're about to get the boot. Who's going to be deemed accountable for your miserable performance? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
Sue appears to be cementing her position as strongest link, earning the title for the 3rd time. For the first time, statistics show Patrick to be the weakest link. Will the team remove him?
All right, team, voting's over. Time now to reveal the weakest link.
Stephen.
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 Mark.
Patrick. Honey eaters. You're getting your birds and bees a bit mixed up. Why, Stephen?
There's been too much money going down a bottomless pit over there.
Morris, why, Stephen?
I wanted to get rid of them last time. Just my opportunity this time.
Mark. Just like Stephen, you had one wrong. Why him?
There's no real reason. I just want to get rid of him.
I thought you were a loss for words there.
Nah.
Stephen, you were quite nasty last time you left.
I'm just pissed off with the way I got out. The fat bloke who basically got me out because I smoke cigarettes. Like I say, Warwick, I don't want you in the game because you're a fat pig.
Well, you can huff and puff as much as you like this time because your aspirations have gone up in smoke. Once again, it is unanimous. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't know why I got voted off unanimously. I was quite surprised. I don't consider myself the weakest link. I might have got voted off because I was one of the stronger ones. Mark should have been voted off, not me. I mean, a man who doesn't know who the diggers are, I mean, that's just ridiculous in this country. If Mark wins, the dumbest one got there.
Round 6, and your bank is just $16,300. I'll take a further 10 seconds off the clock, leaving 1 minute and 40 seconds to reach your $10,000 target. Remember, that target is quite achievable. You must correctly answer 9 questions in a row, resisting the urge to bank along the way. We start with the strongest link from the last round, and that was you, Sue. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Sue, to be very stern or tough is to be as hard as what articles of hardware?
Nails.
Correct. Morris, what is the name beginning with A of a circular coral reef enclosing a lagoon?
Atoll.
Correct. Mark, what colour market specialises in illicit trading, especially of rationed goods?
Black.
Correct. Patrick, what is the first name of the actor O'Toole who starred as Lawrence of Arabia?
Peter.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
Of which continent is the chimpanzee a native creature?
Asia.
Africa. Morris, dubbed Queen of the West, Dale Evans was the equally famous wife of which celluloid cowboy?
Roy Rogers.
Correct. Mark, which N is a hard silvery metal used in alloys like stainless steel?
Nickel.
Correct. Patrick, in which Australian TV police series did William McInnes star as Constable Schultz?
Cop Shop.
Blue Heelers. Sue, the name of which sacred Christian book comes from a Greek word meaning books?
Could you repeat that?
The name of which sacred Christian book comes from a Greek word meaning books?
Bible.
Correct. Morris.
Bank.
Which hard tropical wood beginning with T is an anagram of the name Kate?
Teak.
Correct. Mark, by what feline name do we know the International Service Club organization founded in the USA in 1917?
Lions.
Correct. Patrick, Gurkha soldiers in the British Army come from which Asian kingdom beginning with N?
Nepal.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
Which 4-letter tree substance beginning with C is used in bottling?
Cork.
Correct. Morris.
Bank.
How many times up? And I cannot finish that question. $3,400, team. At this stage of the game, you should be flushed with success. In your case, though, your lack of effort is sending your money down the drain. Who has done nothing but cost you success since they arrived? Might I suggest you again dispatch them immediately? They obviously deserved the walk last time they were here. It is time for you to vote off the weakest link.
With an excellent round, Morris has taken the title of strongest link. Statistically, Patrick is the weakest link. Will the votes follow the facts?
Okay, voting over, pens down. Time to reveal the weakest link.
Sue.
Patrick.
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 Sue, you've had a clean slate up until this round. Is the pressure starting to get to you? Why, Patrick?
Patrick has cost money to the team through the course of the show. Time to go.
Morris, why Patrick?
For the same reason Sue said, but I also believe he might be a New Zealander.
What has that got to do with the price of fish? Nothing, obviously. Mark, you're obviously a fan of Schwarzenegger. Have you adopted the role of the Terminator? Why Patrick?
Well, he tried to vote me off 3 times through the succession of rounds, and so I think it is hasta la vista, Patrick.
Patrick, once again, you're taking the walk of shame. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
As I did the walk of shame, I turned around and gave Morris a good stare because, well, gosh, having to bring up the fact that I'm a New Zealander. What is it about you Aussies hating us Kiwis? Morris is a bit of a dark horse. He's gone through so far without having a vote against him. Sue is incredibly determined. She is definitely there for one reason only, and that's to win, and I think she'll be even more gutted than probably me if she doesn't win. This time I certainly survived longer than I did last time, but gosh, I still came here to win. I came with nothing and, well, I'm going to go home with nothing, except a bad memory of some of the contestants.
Creating a garden of pure harmony and peace sounds easy, but try doing it in only 2 days.
The Sparky's sparking over here and the plumbers are plumbing away.
And with only $3.5 grand, they'll have their work cut out for them on Ground Force, Wednesday, 7:30. Then...
You'll know what I mean when I say it's a renovator's delight.
This is the worst house on any street.
This is where Dad fell through the other day.
But when it goes under the hammer, you'll be shocked how much it sells for. Hot auctions after Ground Force, Wednesday on 7.
How long must I stay, Master?
As long as the candle burns.
Master?
New Continental Cuppa Soup Asian in superb authentic flavours like laksa.
Master! Master! Big Pan, your friend.
So delicious, you'll do anything to make it last.
Hey, big weekend? Oh, quiet. Relaxed with a few videos. Yeah. Me too.
Sustagen. We put more into it so you can get more out of it.
Got anything on tonight? Yeah. Bed. Yeah. Me too.
Milk more out of every day with Sustagen.
These people have made a really smart decision. They've just bought a Toyota Camry, Australia's favourite medium car, which is why they feel free to go and do something crazy.
You are back with the weakest link. Team, you could have had $60,000 in your bank. You currently have $19,700. Last time you were on, you said your peers misjudged you. That argument's not really holding water now, is it? You're already rapidly running out of time, and team members. You now only have 3 of you. With another 10 seconds removed, you have only 1 minute and 30 seconds. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, and that was you, Morris. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Morris, which 4-letter bird is known as the bird of peace?
Dove.
Correct. Mark, used in board games, what objects are sometimes called devil's bones?
Drafts.
Dice. Sue, in chemistry, what also starting with A is the opposite of alkali?
Acid.
Correct. Morris, a station on the London Underground has the unusual name Elephant and what else?
Castle.
Correct. Mark, which A is the international organisation that campaigns for political prisoners?
Amnesty.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
Which punctuation mark is used to indicate possession?
Inverted commas.
Apostrophe. Morris, of which Southeast Asian country was Hue once the capital?
Ceylon.
Vietnam. Mark, which H is a vivid perception of something that is not present in reality?
Hallucination.
Correct. Sue, very common in young children, otitis media is medical jargon for inflammation or infection of the middle what?
Ear.
Correct. Morris, what tree beginning with W has the variety pussy?
Willow.
Correct. Mark, the comic book scientist Dr. Bruce Banner transforms himself into a huge green humanoid called the Incredible what?
Hulk.
Correct. Sue.
Bank.
What was the only award to a winner in the ancient Greek Olympic Games? Time is up, and the answer to that question is wreath. Team, experience obviously counts for nothing in this game. $2,000, another very, very average performance. Who's come this far and need to once again lose? Who at this late stage will be financially no better off than before? It's time now to vote off the weakest link.
Morris is the strongest link yet again. Statistically, it would appear the mighty have fallen. Sue, very strong early in the game, is now the weakest link. Will her early performance be enough to redeem her in the vote?
Okay, voting over, pens down. Time now to reveal the weakest link.
Mark.
Sue. Sue.
Morris, you a bit afraid to take Sue on in the final round?
Yes.
Short and to the point, man of few words, as always. Mark, do you see Morris as an easier opponent than Sue?
I wouldn't say he's easier, but I definitely see Sue as a definite harder one to beat.
Boys stick together club.
Not quite.
Sue, you weren't happy being voted off after round one last time.
I feel like I've got egg on my face. Just wait and see who's out next. They mightn't be smiling so much.
Well, Sue, it appears the boys are chicken. And once again, you have egg on your face. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I should not have been going down that walk of shame. I was voted off because they were afraid of me. If I could say something to Morris and Mark, it would be, don't be such gutless wonders in the future. I should have been going home with money in my luggage today, not them.
Round 8. Morris and Mark, this is rather novel for you both. Last time you didn't advance this far. You'd be interested to know this is your last opportunity to build your bank. You have $21,700. And whatever you bank in this round, I will treble, giving you a chance to add a further $30,000. There will be another 10 seconds off the clock, so you have only 1 minute and 20 seconds to finalize your bank. Morris, you were the strongest link last round. We begin with you. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Morris, to betray a secret is to kiss and what else?
Tell.
Correct. Mark, which four-letter structure beginning with N is built by many animals to house their young?
Nest.
Correct. Morris, displacement of the bones forming a joint is called a what?
Location.
Correct. Mark, with 10 Oscar nominations in 2001, is Ang Lee's film Crouching Tiger, Hidden what?
Dragon.
Correct. Morris.
Bank.
How is a national flag usually flown to indicate an emergency or distress?
Half-mast.
Upside down. Mark. In the USA, the initials MIT stand for the Massachusetts Institute of what?
Technology.
Correct. Morris. written by James Boswell, is the famous Life of the great English dictionary maker Dr. Samuel who?
Johnson.
Correct. Mark, cirrus is what kind of meteorological phenomenon beginning with C?
Cloud.
Correct. Morris, Robert Leroy Parker Cassidy was called Butch because he had once followed what occupation?
He was a butcher.
Correct. Mark, which object beginning with P supplies nutrients to the unborn child?
Placenta.
Correct. Morris, of all land animals, the horse and the ostrich. Time is up, and I cannot complete that question. Morris, by the way, your last bank was not accepted. You muttered it far too late. $4,000. And this time you must take responsibility. I will treble that amount for you, giving you a total bank of $33,700. An amount that cannot be shared. One of you will walk away with a spring in your step. The other will be dragging their feet. Who will it be? All this will be unveiled after the break, as Morris, the carpet cleaner, and Mark, the journalism student, go head-to-head in our final winner-take-all round here on The Weakest Link.
This news update is brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank, helping you make it happen.
Good evening. Great train robber Ronnie Biggs has touched down in Britain after 35 years on the run. He's flown in from Brazil, and despite ill health, Scotland Yard says he'll be treated like any other fugitive. 8 heroin addicts have used Australia's first legal injecting rooms at King's Cross on its opening day. 4 others overdosed nearby. Organisers hope up to 200 a day will eventually attend the centre. Victoria's Premier has called an attack by Melbourne Knights fans on Perth Glory players as totally unacceptable. He's called on Soccer Australia to take action. A report into the Defence Force has found many defence reserves are poorly trained and badly equipped. And Australian Fashion Week's begun with plenty of action and colour. Rain again tomorrow, tops of 18.
A baby doesn't have normal tear secretions to protect his eyes from irritants. That's why our shampoo is as mild on eyes as pure water. Johnson's Baby Shampoo, with our unique No More Tears formula. Not just gentle, Johnson's gentle.
At Flight Centre, we guarantee the lowest airfares.
Fly to Auckland, Christchurch or Wellington from $399. Discover Hong Kong from $888. Or hop over to Bangkok from $979, including 6 nights accommodation. Escape to Hawaii from $999. Take a friend from $699. And stay 4 nights for free.
Call 131-600. That's 131-600.
Call Flight Centre, lowest airfares guaranteed.
This echo's perfect for stakeouts. Cut it out, you moron!
This is different. Why'd they put it here?
Oh, it's unique. It's the state-of-the-art peripheral vision concept. Basically, you can look at the speedo and still focus on what's in front of you.
Ah!
You in the car? Clever.
I think I'm ready to share something big with you.
How big could it be?
Will you marry me?
That's big in Seven's new alley next.
Welcome back to The Weakest Link, Worst Loser Special. The final round, and now it's crunch time for Mark and Morris, who have both whinged their way back into contention to become a winner. You both know what's at stake. There can only be one winner as you go head-to-head for the bank of $33,700. The loser will leave with nothing. I will ask alternate questions, the best of 5. Whoever answers the most correctly wins. However, if there's a tie after 5, we'll play sudden death until we do have a winner. Mark, as the strongest link, you have the choice of who goes first, and who will that be?
I'll go first.
Mark, your first question. The world record holder of which track event is recognized as the fastest human being in the world?
100-metre sprint.
That answer is correct. Morris, by what name is the marsupial Macropus rufus better known?
Red kangaroo.
That answer is correct. Mark, what is the biblical name of the tree whose fruit Adam and Eve were forbidden to eat?
Pass.
The answer is the tree of knowledge. Morris, how many gold medals did Australia win at the first Olympics of the modern era?
2.
That answer is correct. Mark, what name is given to lines joining equal temperatures on a weather map?
Isobars.
That answer is incorrect. The answer is isotherm. Morris, which meat is regarded as the chief source of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in humans?
Beef.
That answer is correct. Mark, you must answer the next question correctly to remain in the game. With the assistance of President Carter, Egypt signed a 1979 peace treaty with which Middle Eastern country?
Israel.
That answer is correct. Morris, answer the next question correctly, and you will be tonight's strongest link and take home $33,700. According to a recent report, a majority of people in 2/3 of nations are followers of which religion?
Catholicism.
That answer is incorrect. The correct answer is Christianity. Mark, again, you must answer this question correctly to remain in the game. Who wrote a famous book in 1786 called Poems, chiefly in the Scottish dialect?
William Wallace.
That answer is incorrect. The correct answer is Robbie Burns. Morris, what a surprise. You are finally the strongest link and will take home $33,700. Mark, again, you go home with nothing. Join me Friday on The Weakest Link. Goodbye.
Hell, I can't say that I was really a loser because I got right through to the very end, so that's the way that I look at it anyway.
I won because I deserved to win.
The money would have been fantastic to get a hold of.
I can be the grumpiest winner now instead.
A moment with Roy and HG.
I enjoy the way the Americans respond. Loud, abrasive, ignorant, stupid. It aids and abets our loathing of them.
Tonight, 10:30, Roy and HG on 7.
Previously on Ally McBeal.
How'd you even get here?
Airplane.
Airplane?
Big steel thing with wings, flies.
I don't know what to do, Allie.
Larry, you need to go to Detroit. Can't take him away from his mother, and he needs his father.
John,
Yes?
do you want to walk me home tonight?
I am enraptured. It's this tiny little room. Itty-bitty little bed, itty-bitty little chair.
I so wanted you to see my apartment. Do you really like it?
Melanie, it's magical.
I have a problem with goodbyes. That dream you had, where I left with a note, that'd be exactly what I'd do. You know, I won't say goodbye, but I'll just...
Leave a note.
I will come back.
Last night